Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back, legally, on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. I want to do this story for Vicky, but of course she's not in the room because, well, she's rude. And we're talking about the rudest things you can do when you text.
Well, then she's doing it.
Yeah.
Being not present.
Yeah.
Oh, here she is.
Oh, hey, thanks for coming by, Vic.
Hi.
Nice seeing you. God,
I get distracted by something shiny again.
She's got a great life. Well, we're talking about the rudest things you can do when you text. It's a new survey by BuzzFeed, and these are people basically that they polled and what they consider to be different text moves that are indeed rude.
Okay.
Yay.
All right.
I bet Vicky is going to... We got 10 of them?
Yeah.
I'm saying she's 7 of 10 if we get to them all.
Okay, so Vicky, when was the last time you were on a date?
Last week.
Okay.
Oh, where'd you guys go?
To the Cherry Street Cafe coffee place.
So this was a date like a guy that could be the one, or I don't know,
Well,
guy or
this
girl.
was a guy I used to date, and I lost touch with him, and then he's like, hey, let's get together, and so it was nice.
So did you...
So you got out of jail.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you pull out your phone at all on this date?
Only when my alarm was ringing.
Really?
What was the alarm ringing for?
To like
Go meet up with another guy?
Yes, exactly. It's like, sorry, your allotted time has expired. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just have a million alarms throughout the day to remind me to like either go post something or to do something or.
So texting on a date, do you think that's rude or not rude?
I think that's very rude.
Yeah.
See, I say, I agree. But I've seen people at dinner, and it's obvious that it's a date. It's probably not a first date. I would hope not. But they're just on their phones, just not even looking at each other. Maybe they're texting each other. Maybe that's just the way they communicate. And this is just awkward that they're human to human at that moment. But I see that all the time now. People are always texting.
Yeah, the last time I was on a date, there were no smartphones. There may not have been CDs. I mean, that's the last time I was on a date.
I think, though, that there's going to come a point where it's not going to be viewed as rude. No different than it used to be considered rude to break up with somebody over the phone. Now, that seems to be, sadly, the honorable of all the things. It's more honorable to do that than to text.
Yeah,
or
you're hoping you
ghost them.
You're hoping you get to hear their voice at least when they tell you peace out.
But what, maybe 15 years ago?
Yeah, you're right.
A phone call breakup was considered the lowest of the low.
94% of the people say, yeah, texting on the date, rude.
Okay.
Rude.
Or when you guys go out, like let's say their business dinner with your friends, and if they go to the bathroom, do you ever pull out your phone and
All
text
the time.
them? Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. I don't count that.
But I try not to be the guy at a dinner, even with friends. I don't do the whole put my phone on the table. Mm-hmm. A lot of people do. I know, like my hockey buddies, will have sometimes in the locker room, like we'll have a rule, like whoever pulls out their phone first to check their phone has to like crush a beer or something like that. Like
that's awesome.
Just some kind of a punishment because it's just like, yeah, come on, we're all hanging out. Let's stop playing on our phones.
Yeah. How about during a movie at a theater?
Oh, I take calls.
On speaker.
Yeah.
I think that should be number one. How do you think texting at a movie theater is the right thing to do? For that 2 hours, you cannot just put the phone away and not use it. I use it for run pee, and even then, it vibrates in my pocket, and I go, oh, I know it's time for me to go. So even me, who needs to see where he's got to go pee, it's still, I don't use the phone.
At least do a solid and put your brightness on your phone at the bare minimum. Like just
that would be
lower
really
it and
nice.
make it as dark as possible, and don't. I understand maybe somebody's a parent and they have to check their phone because maybe they have a babysitter and they're at the movies. I could completely understand that.
See, that's a phone call. You see, then there's no text. If my phone starts ringing, I'll get up and get out of the theater because I feel like it's an emergency. But a text is not an emergency. Otherwise, they would call you, wouldn't they?
Well, what if they're just like something simple as like, where's the breast pump? Or I don't know, something.
Where's the breast? Look, if my babysitter's looking for the breast pump, I don't
know. I don't know how these babysitter things do it.
That's the thing. There's no big emergency that a babysitter needs to text you for. If they can't find a certain thing, they'll make do, or they'll call you, right?
I don't know, man.
I mean, Vicky, you know, as a former nanny. I mean, if you really need me, you'll call me. You won't just text me.
Yeah, I would definitely call. I had the kid lock himself in the bathroom and wouldn't let himself out. He was 3. And I'm like, how do I get this kid out of here? Like, he's going to do something in here. So, yeah, that was
leave
very
him in
much...
here until the parents get home.
I was tempted, but...
Yeah, 87% of us think that texting during a movie theater is rude. I can't believe that actually it's less than the texting on a date. I feel like it should be right up there with that. But that's still a majority of us.
It's still a lot.
And then you talked about texting while you're out to dinner with other people, Steve, and they're like you. You know, about 3/4 of us think that's the case. How about just replying to a text with a lowercase k? I hate that because I feel like they're not really okay when they do that.
I just saw somebody post something where it's like we've become a society that we've gotten now where we're mad and emotional at people based on texts, which is a completely emotionless thing to do. Like, we read into things, and I'm guilty of it. I'm sure everybody's guilty of it, where like even like that, where maybe somebody's maybe they're at the movie theater, but they wanted to get back to you really quick. So like, yeah, cool, K. I mean, why is K any worse than your thumbs up thing that you like to do? For somebody that's like the same thing.
Because I think it meant something from people, like, you know, the sure ... It's like,
the ... means they want to bang.
Oh, that's what that means?
Oh yeah.
No, or I can call it. It's trouble too, though. I had an ex-boyfriend. He would text me. It's like, well, sure, you can do that if you want. ...
Yeah, I thought that's
like,
meant.
Maybe he wants to bang you.
No, it also could mean like, well, that's not really the end of this conversation.
Exactly. It's like it's sort of like, but I don't want you to, or I'm mad at you.
Yeah, it's
Probably
very passive.
right. I'm trying not to read into anybody's text.
You're the smarter one, Steve, because you're living in a happier world.
Yeah.
You know, because you're right. Chances are we could be wrong. And even if you are right, well, then you get to ignore that idiot anyway because they're being passive-aggressive by somehow through text not really, confront you in the first place if they got a problem. Instead, they ... you.
How do you feel about somebody just constantly just replies with emojis? I find it creative and fun, but I know some people don't like it.
I like it now because I got Bitmoji, and so my wife enjoys that. My wife likes me so much better ever since I came up with Bitmoji because I give her a new one all the time, and she's like, "Oh, I love those Bitmojis you sent me," and it's my way of communicating with her because she's never liked my words. Mm-hmm. I've always been too wordy for her.
I'm just stoked they finally got a dog pooping a Bitmoji.
Yes.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that Bitmoji.
Or have you seen the Bitmoji where you're leaning on an eggplant?
I have seen that, yes.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, that is pretty. I've never sent that or the dog poop to my wife. I don't think she'd appreciate that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Clearly.
How about sending one-word responses? Is that a bad thing?
Why does it matter? If they're giving you the answer that you need with one word, I'm okay with that.
Turns out you're in the majority, Steve. Actually, most of us don't have a problem with it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was like, sheesh, we have to write a novel every time we communicate?
And by the way, doing a lowercase k, more than half of us actually think, no, you shouldn't just do lowercase k.
Okay.
K. How about intentionally waiting to respond to a text? Is that rude?
Sometimes I like to open it up so that the little bubbles pop up on the...
I hate when people do that.
And just let it sit there for 20, 30 minutes and then respond with 2 words.
You taught me
Sounds
that,
good.
Steve. Yeah, you taught me that. I'm savvy to that game because I used to wait going, oh, well, they're about to say something.
Yeah.
All right, maybe I shouldn't close the phone. And then I'm sitting there like an idiot.
It's always great when you finally get a text from somebody. It's like, what are you writing? And I just write, sounds good. It took you that long to write sounds good? I'm like, yeah, I was really thinking it through.
See, sometimes I wait to send a text because it's the whole stupid sexual politics game. You text a guy and he takes a day to respond. You don't want to seem desperate, so you don't reply right away, so it's not like you're waiting by the phone for his text. So I'll wait a couple hours, oh, okay, we should totally make these plans, or, oh, that was a nice dog pic.
See, that would be if you get the dong pick and you at that point you should quickly respond if you liked it or didn't like it. I think there should be a quick response to that.
Yeah, I want to make him suffer.
Yeah, see, I would be like, I thought she wanted this, and now what is it not good enough, or did I go over the line? Because she's right. You're right. You don't know when you should send a dong pick, right? Do you know? Does somebody actually go out and say send it to me, or do you try to read between the lines?
There's never a bad time to send it.
Oh, there isn't?
No.
All right, Steve, I got one coming your way.
Nice. I sometimes will intentionally wait just for the simple reason that I know that person's a constant texter. That person that just wants. It's almost like they need to get the last word, but they'll always ask something in that last word, so you have to continue to tell them you know what, I'm going to wait because I'm busy and I don't want to have to deal with the fact that I'm going to be going back and forth with this person. I just don't feel like doing that right now, and I'll wait till when I'm sitting on my couch doing nothing.
Yeah.
Or the person that sends 10 texts in a row. I've lost friends that way. I'm just like, I'm not talking to this person anymore, where they're like, so what are you doing this? I went and did this today, and I did this, and click, clink, cling, ding, 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 ding. It's like, oh my God, shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very passionate.
Well, no, I'm with you on that. Just put it in one text. Jesus. Well, most of us think that actually if you intentionally wait to respond to a text, that's a good thing. About 70% of us, which makes sense. Think before you speak, think before you text. Seriously, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. How about texting while you walk? I hate that. When people are on their cell phones walking, look, I'm a mall walker, so look,
you're a professional walker. Let's give you the due that you deserve.
But dude, they don't realize they're swaying in the middle of the road, going very slowly, and I'm trying to get by them, and I don't know. Are you going to the right? Are you going to the left? And they don't. You say excuse me, they don't hear you because they're lost in their phone.
It should be fun for you. It's like you're in like a little slalom course or something like that.
Yeah, I get up to speed and then I have to slow down.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
It's a horror.
Well, yeah, dude, I need to go to a certain speed.
Yeah,
and I just I don't like those people that text while they walk. It's like, come on, man. And I've been that guy, and it's like, I got to pull over to the side. I don't want to be that guy. I know it's tempting to go, I'm just going to do one text. I can do this.
Isn't it crazy that we are discussing texting etiquette and what 10 years ago this wasn't even. Yeah. Or maybe a little bit longer than that. This wasn't even a thought to have in our lives.
It is amazing the amount of people I see on their phones. And like you said, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that was not the phenomenon. But you go out in public places, everyone's got their face in their phone, no matter what they're doing. It's nuts. How about texting someone who's in the room?
Oh, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because you have private messages? It's your way of making fun of somebody? If you can...
Yeah, be like, yo, Vicky, PJ just won't shut the F up about texting.
That's what I'm thinking.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. What I've got for you are the 10 most popular safe words that couples use during sex. Patchouli oil. Well, apparently more and more people are into bondage, all probably because of this 50 Shades of Grey thing. And we know there's at least one member of our show that's very much into that.
The Rev.
Yeah. No, we don't talk about that. A new survey asked 1,300 bondage fans to reveal what their go-to safe word is. And that's the word you yell out when you go, okay, I'm done. I'm really done. Because yelling stop is really doesn't mean stop.
Well, no, because some people like to have a little bit of, role playing, and sometimes stop doesn't necessarily mean stop.
It's part of the role play.
Yeah, it's part of the fun.
I've never understood that one. But that's just me. I mean, I remember an ex one time saying, do that. And I was like, nope, not doing that.
They wanted you to get into some bondage action or something.
Not bondage, just like be more aggressive in a sense. Whereas where stop didn't mean stop. And I was like, not feeling that one.
Yeah.
Don't need the neighbors to be wondering what the hell is going on.
Yeah, and you had, with some of your previous girlfriends, you had neighbors wondering anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, red is the number one safe word.
That's mine.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Red? Oh, like the color. Oh.
Yeah, like red light.
So what, you're
red.
like playing Red Rover?
No, I went and did my research, which is not a bad thing to do when you're kind of going into this world of bondage and BDSM. And they said that was a really good one because then you can also use yellow as in, hey, I like
cool
that,
off.
but ease off. Like maybe don't whip me so hard or don't do that so long, that kind of a thing.
See, I go cheeseburger. And then the yellow would be hamburger. And then if I really wanted to stop, Boca Burger.
Boca Burger.
Yes.
Okay. I'll remember that Boca Burger.
I don't have any safe words.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Now I'm hungry, actually. All I want you to do is get me a cheeseburger.
So you have a safe word, and it's poodle.
My safe word is poodle. I do that just because it was in a Chuck Palahniuk novel. And I think that the movie, I think it was called Choke. And it was about that world as well as other things. Chuck Palahniuk is the guy that did Fight Club.
Have you had to use your safe word, or do you just have it established?
Oh, I just loved that the safe word in the book was poodle. Somebody's safe word was poodle. I just love that. And they had T-shirts and stuff, I think, and that was like
funny.
My safe word is poodle, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep telling people that. I just like that. I don't engage in that behavior to have a safe word. There's no safe word in my life.
One texter has a good one. Best safe word, Omaha. Signed Peyton Manning.
Oh,
Omaha.
Nice.
Another person says, my boyfriend and I use pollywog as our safe word.
Pollywog.
That seems like there's too many syllables.
Yeah, I feel like, but I guess no. If you're really, really hurting, you'll get it out.
Danny, do you have a safe word?
I don't have a safe word. I have a safe. She has to bite me in a certain area so I know it's stop doing what I'm doing. Just on my wrist.
Oh,
yeah, not in that certain area.
I was like, geez, like some Larry Bobbitt type stuff.
Rather giving you a safe word, she bites you when she's wanting you to be done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because my hand's always near her, around her throat. So.
Oh, well, that's kind of bondagey.
Yeah. Oh, we learned more about.
Wow, damn. Well, it's the young kids today.
The whole choke 'em.
Yeah, you got to know when to choke 'em, know when to hold 'em. Red
Chokahanna's over there.
Good old Chokahannas. There we go. Now, Vicky, you didn't get Red from 50 Shades of Grey because that's where they use it in that book.
No, I got it years ago before the movies came out, so I've never read any of the books. The books are not an accurate depiction of what a healthy BDSM relationship is like.
Really?
Yeah, because it's about communication and it's about consent on both forms, and from what I've heard, it's not very consensual in some aspects. Like, it's him taking all the control and not caring about her emotional needs, which when you're doing these things, you have to take into consideration that.
Oh.
Like, there's a thing called, what is it? I'm blanking on the phrase, but basically aftercare, where when you're done with that, you spend some time, whether cuddling or eating or any of that, because it kind of brings you back to the same emotional plane.
Does that include like if a guy,
like that part?
Yeah.
Like a guy that gets totally dominated and he's going to do like some horrible things like licking boots and eating like a dog and I mean, that happens afterwards for the dude?
Yeah, or
So he
whoever.
gets to cuddle and have some pudding?
Yeah, like, I mean, I have one friend, what she had done is that the guy drew her a bath, fed her sushi. It just kind of made it like a loving experience, because it does take you to a very interesting place.
Oh, see, that's a lot of work. I don't want to have to do all that after. I do that before. I'm empowered. That's more like foreplay, because the energy of me wanting to get some will drive me to be nice. But when I'm done, the last thing I want to do is get up and draw anybody a bath, because I'm assuming that when you do this, everybody finishes their workout, right?
Yeah, usually.
Well, do you feel like making anybody sushi and drawing a bath when you're done with your
I'd
workout?
probably just grab their phone and hit Uber and help them get a ride home.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're thinking about getting into like BDSM relationships and you're not willing to do that, then don't get into one.
I'm willing to do that, but just not right after. I'm willing to maybe the next day when I get more energy.
Some people were wondering if your daughter uses any safe words.
No, those people don't need to wonder that, and I don't need to know that.
Oh, she says no. She's not even walking in. Oh, wow.
I guess because she's, you know what, I don't want to know what she's into either way, whether she's into BDSM or not. I don't need to know this about her life. As far as I'm concerned, her and her boyfriend don't even do anything but hold hands.
Her and Johnny Rubbers. How's Johnny Rubbers doing?
Johnny Rubbers is so good.
Nice.
He treated me so well over the weekend.
What did he do?
Well, Dad was out of town, so we got to play house. So we did some fun things.
Yeah, those two are trying to take over my house, Steve.
I know.
Trying? I think they're about to kick you out. But you still have to pay rent.
You have to pay all the rent.
Yeah, of course I do, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. We had a long, fun Saturday night, if you know what I mean.
Oh, God.
And then
I don't know that. I don't want to know.
I was exhausted, and he woke up and folded all our laundry and did the dishes and made me lunch.
This is like the post stuff, the aftercare. He did the aftercare.
It was fabulous.
Yeah, but she didn't have to get beat up, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really not that kinky when it comes to that kind of stuff. He chokes me a little here and there.
What?
And then,
No, I don't need to hear that.
Oh.
But, that's it. And if
So
it's
proud to be an American at this very moment.
No, I don't want to hear that.
If it's too much, I just say stop.
And he
You know?
stops?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you don't use pineapple? That's the number 2 safe word, pineapple.
No, but I think I should have something a little more exciting than just stop. And then he's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure, baby?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, actually."
What about
I don't need to.
Here's a good safe word. Dad lives here.
Yeah, I don't need to know
can
that you're
hear
getting
us.
choked out by the man. I don't need to know that.
Yeah, but it's just a little friendly choke, just a little.
If it ever gets too much, what I'll do too is I'll tap, you see the MMA fighters tap out. It's like tapping out, so it's like stop.
Yeah, or I'll just
but
do
see
it
what
back.
Do you have a referee in the corner to ring the bell?
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
See, I'd be afraid.
Technical knockout.
What if somebody doesn't stop? See, that's the thing, man.
Then that's a person that I do not want to have sex with ever
But
again.
you might be dead at that point.
Yeah, you know what happens if they don't stop?
Yeah, you don't get to go. When you're dead, you don't get to go, well, that's it for you, mister.
well, I'm
No.
not I will have sex.
What about
with,
Michael Hutchins, man? He didn't know when to stop.
Yeah, him and Kwai Chang Kane. Neither one of them.
that guy.
Come on.
See, I'll have sex with pretty much anybody, but when it comes to an actual bondage type relationship, that I have to be very picky about because, it's about somebody you can trust with that sort of thing. You have to trust that they will.
Do they have like an Angie's List for that? I mean, Better Business Bureau for chokers? I don't know.
I guess there's FetLife.com.
Oh, FetLife?
Which is kind of like a MySpace.
I thought that was like an insurance company.
It's like a kinky MySpace.
Is there, so
we learned that 3 members of the show like to be choked.
And look at the ages, though. They're all millennials.
What about you, Joe?
No.
Joe doesn't even like talking to people, let alone having to go through all that.
He's probably so vanilla.
Wonder where he gets it from.
You know what? I mean, I'm not as vanilla as you think I am. It's just, I'm at the vanilla age. What are you going to do?
That's fair. There's nothing wrong with vanilla. Vanilla is a very lovely flavor.
Vanilla's a great flavor.
A dominant flavor, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I feel like Rocky Road is more dominant than vanilla.
You can do a lot with vanilla.
I feel like you're never too old to get choked, though.
I see BJ Moore as like a vanilla bean.
Hold on a second. Here's the thing. I could be anything, but I'm with you got your partner to think about. And so,
blame it on the wife.
You're as vanilla or as chocolate as your partner.
Oh yeah, blame it on your wife. I think she would be more into doing some crazy stuff based on the
me
stories
too.
you share.
Yeah,
Right?
You don't know her.
Yeah. What?
Her and all her crazy crystals.
Yeah.
She's taught me some things on how to do and what to do. She's given me some
but you know what?
things to play with.
That was back in the day. That was back in the day. Now she's just she likes vanilla.
She's kind of lame now.
Well, I don't know if she's lame. It's just whatever. It's working. I guess whatever.
Maybe she had to tone it down for boss man over here.
That could be.
She doesn't want you to break a hip.
That could be. I don't want anybody beating me, though. That's the thing. I'm not into that. I don't want to beat anybody.
Floggers.
I don't want to beat anybody. I don't want to be. I mean, even the spanking, I still go, geez, I don't know how. If you go too far, then the whole day's over. What is wrong with you today?
It sounds so sexy when you say it, Steve.
Thank you.
It sounds very creepy. My God, I feel like you should be locked up.
But this is a definite generation gap.
There was a thing that was tried with me. I won't say it was your mother because you don't need to hear this. But there was a thing that was tried with me.
Who else would it be?
Let's say the mailman.
Okay.
Himself, right? I don't think he's slept with anyone else.
Oh, shut up. I could get people. But I was like, no, I'm going to shut that down. So yeah, maybe you're right, Sarah. Maybe she realized, okay, there's only so far I'm going to go with this idiot.
Rev, you got none of that, right?
No.
Yeah, you're cool.
Wait, you don't wear any of your steampunk outfits and leather and corsets or anything?
No, all that stuff is ridiculous in the bedroom. It takes an hour and a half to get costumed up. It's just too much work on that end.
I'm with you, man. I don't even like getting dressed for work. The last thing I want to do is get dressed for love making.
Right?
I will kind of admit that. My boyfriend really wants me to dress up as like a Seahawks cheerleader.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's cool.
I'm like, I know, but
I'll take the pictures.
that'd be actually really dope if there were pictures. But then I'm like, I'm just going to take it off. Like, would you
don't
just
have
rather
to
have me
take it
naked in the beginning? Like, do I really have to go out and get a costume for those?
Has he given you like a set cheer to give? Like, give me an F.
Okay.
Give me a B.
You realize this is my daughter, right? We're having these. This is an uncomfortable conversation.
I was going to spell out fellowship,
Oh, thank you, Frodo. I appreciate that.
but for the sake of time, I just stopped with F.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I liked it.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. How long is a bankruptcy going to affect my credit rating?
Of course, most of the time, by the time we're talking about filing a bankruptcy, the credit has already taken a huge hit. Chapter 7 is going to affect it more negatively than Chapter 13. Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years from the time you file. It usually takes 7 or 8 years for your credit scores to get back into the normal range in a Chapter 7 case. However, your credit will start to recover even in Chapter 7 after about a year. You'll be able to get credit again right away, usually before your case is even over. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years and usually takes about 3.5 years for your credit to get back in the normal range. So Chapter 13 will mean your credit gets better much more rapidly.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Keeping up with the flood of news every single day can be quite stressful. There is climate change happening. There's the pandemic, labor movements, Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend. Hi, I am Gideon Resnick, host of Crooked Media's What a Day. Each week, Travell Anderson, Priyanka Arabindi, Josie Duffy Rice, and I are going to break down the biggest news stories of the day in a way that hopefully doesn't always make you want to cry. New episodes of What a Day drop every weekday at 5 a.m. Eastern. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.